Agarwal, Head of Inside Sales, Drip Capital, on the topic Attaining Easy Export Trade Finance. Shri Agarwal ji, thank you so much for joining us. Over to you.
Hi guys, uh, Sarthak Agarwal here from Drip Capital. This is a very difficult time to speak after all of you had a scrumptious meal. I hope all of you are as attentive as you were before this, right? Because as people have said before, we're the nation builders, we're the backbone. So we got to be a little more attentive right now. To engage all of you, let me just tell you to basically draw your attention. What Drip Capital does is it will help you expand your business by 30% at least, right? I think that should draw your attention over here. How do we do that? We basically finance your export invoices, right? So all of you looking for finance solutions, I think this is the time for you to be more attentive because speakers in the past have also spoken about this. I think before I start, would like to thank SME Chamber of Commerce because this is like a one-stop-shop solution for MSMEs today. You've had connectivity solutions, you've had infrastructure solutions, you've had technology, you've had finance. So I think most of your problems should be met in this forum. Moving forward, so I'm basically head of Inside Sales at Drip Capital, explaining a little more. So Drip Capital basically is a US-based firm, right? We kind of provide two kinds of finances, which is receivable finance, which is your export financing, and payable finance, right, which is import financing. Receivable finance we provide in multiple countries, which is India, which is our major market. 80% of our financing business happens in India. And we also do the same in Mexico, in Dubai, in Singapore. So a lot of you over here would obviously be exporters. So can I just have a show of hands? How many Indian MSME exporters out here? Great, great, great. I hope you can reach out to me or my colleagues in case you want to know more about our solution. So I'm sure a lot of us over here are also traders, are also cross-border traders, right? Or we know we have friends, colleagues who are cross-border trading. So Drip Capital is a one-stop stop solution for receivable and payable finance. Payable finance, I've spoken to some of you, a lot of you are interested in knowing more about it, but we currently do payable financing only in US. But so for the purpose of this conversation, I will restrict myself to talking only about receivable finance, which is export financing. So speaking a little more about Drip Capital, it's a US-based organization, right? We currently have finance invoices worth about $2.5 billion, right? And this continues to grow. We kind of were one of the most prominent financiers outside banks to actually support MSMEs during the COVID period, right? Before COVID, we were about financing around 700 million. During COVID, we financed about $1.5 billion, right? So that's the kind of strength, which is why I say we confidently that we help Indian exporters expand their business by at least 30%. So we currently work with 1,500 plus exporters and across tier 1, tier 2 cities in India, and also who are basically supplying to 40 plus buying countries. And US being one of them, we also offer payable finance to their buyers in US. Why do we do this and why do we only cater to MSMEs or SMEs? We do cater to the large businesses as well, but as you can see, as everyone has spoken, 40% of the exports of India comes from MSME segment. However, only 10 to 17% of the MSME exporters have access to formal finance through banks. And some of you have asked this question also as to why banks are so hesitant, obviously because it's high-risk asset. Large companies are low-risk assets, so that's the main reason. So 83% of large businesses have access to formal credit through banks, but only 10 to 17%. The gap is a lot more than $15 billion. This presentation is not recently updated, but it must be north of $20 billion today. So we've discussed these numbers time and again in this forum. There was a lady who had asked a question regarding employment into MSMEs. So 1.3 million jobs is what MSMEs provide, right? 60 million jobs is total 1.3 every year, and 45% of industrial output. 48% is the actual number of total exports from MSMEs. And Drip Capital is proud to finance not only the products. There was a gentleman who had asked if we do service as well. So here's a company who finances even service exporters. Why are we trying to bridge this gap? Like we all know, the kind of access that we have to finance from banks. So basic drawback or basic challenge that most companies or most exporters over here would face is providing more collateral to basically increase your credit lines. That there is a threshold that you have, and with your peak seasons coming, your orders bunching up, buyers asking more credit period, there is only so much of collateral that we can provide. So that's one major blocker that MSMEs face when they approach banks. Also, the risk automation, the documentation is a month-long, 2-month-long process, and it's heavily document intensive, right? And a lot of us over here may not have the kind of export track record that banks require, right? So that's one of the challenges as well. From the buyer's side, right, predominantly it's a buyer's market. Buyers require buyers require credit. The exporters want LC. And when you're exporting to countries like Gulf or Africa, right, all of us over here want to basically do that on advance or on LC. But that's not something which is in our control all the time. Especially when you're supplying to large buyers, it's a buyer's game, right? So when you cannot have access to LC or advance credit, obviously your existing credit lines again get stretched. Plus the orders bunching up, at that point of time, maybe banks are not in a position to increase your credit lines immediately. That's again when Drip Capital steps in. So quickly explaining, like this is pretty much going to tell you how we finance this. So we're basically an invoice discounting company, right? So what we do is, as soon as you have your shipping documents ready and your goods have been shipped, right, you submit your invoices with us, right? We will finance 80% of the invoice value. As soon as all your documents have been underwritten, on day 0, we will finance 80% of your invoice value. Your goods reach the buying destination, your credit period reaches its due date, we collect the payment from your buyers. And basically the balance 20%, from that 20%, we deduct our charges, and then we remit the balance 20% to you. So what it kind of does is your credit period of 30, 60, 90, 120 days shrinks to 0. That's exactly what we are trying to achieve out here. So few points in comparison to most formal lenders, which are banks, how we are slightly different. Drip Capital is a fintech firm. What we heavily believe in is data and automation. So in less than 14 or 15 days, exporters can avail finance from us up to $2 million, $2.5 million. For pricing as low as 0.8% per month, I'm sure a lot of you seeing this number are not happy because you're obviously comparing it to banks, but we are providing collateral-free credit outside, which is additional to your bank. So we're not trying to compete with banks, we're kind of supplementing them, or we're providing you an auxiliary line of credit, right? And most importantly, your entire risk assessment is automated, which means decision-making happens in less than 2 to 3 days. So a lot of exporters, a lot of you would have heard of Drip Capital through your colleagues and friends. Within 14 or 15 days is basically our average time of financing, which I doubt a lot of lenders can provide. Basic eligibility criteria for most of you sitting in this room wondering as to whether you're eligible to avail our services. All we basically check is whether you've had 2 BRC closes in the past 12 months. Your export turnover should be more than $200,000, and your buying countries should obviously not be amongst the sanctioned countries. And we don't finance perishables, jewelries, fruits and vegetables because of the volatility it carries. Onboarding process, you fill an online form with your IE code. Automatically, we check your eligibility. We collect your financial documents. Underwriting is again automated within 2 to 3 days. Then the process of legal documentation, which takes about another 3-4 days, and that's it. You submit your export documents to us. Everything is done online. We don't have to be at your office. You don't have to come to our office to provide those documents. Alongside financing, you also get a technology platform which you can access on your mobiles, on your laptops, and where you will know exactly how many invoices we finance, how many invoices are pending for settlement. So basically an entire dashboard that you can track when you're transacting with us for all your invoices. This is the impact that we've had in the last 6 years on 1,700 exporters. 31% growth is what we've consistently achieved for most of our exporters working with us. This I've already covered, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4 cities. These are some of the industries that we kind of regularly finance, ready-made garments, FMCGs being the biggest, then leather, fabric, agri-commodities, chemicals. Frozen food is something that, it's the season for frozen food, and that's an industry that we heavily support now. This is a basic credibility background of Drip Capital. We've kind of raised more than $500 million. And we lend from our own books. We don't take support of banks and lend. And 40% of that is raised in equity. We have companies like Sequoia, Axel, who are partnered with us, and Silicon Valley Bank and Barclays Bank also helping us in debt funding. This is contact information in case any of you want to note down. I have my colleagues over here, Sagar and Yash. If you can stand or show your hands. Sagar, Yash. Yeah, there they are. So feel free to reach out to them for any further information you require. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with this, it is my pleasure to now invite Shri Swarup Negi, National Sales Head of GATI, to kindly join us for our next presentation.
Hello everyone. My name is Swarup Negi. I represent GATI KWE, who is the main partner for this event. It's my privilege to stand here and talk about my company, who is a key partner to your overall journey. Since morning, we have heard from different speakers about the importance of SME industry in the overall balanced economy of India, be it on the domestic front or be it on the international front. So we had sessions from the industry experts, the bankers, the financial segments and other. So who are we? We are basically your partners on your logistics requirements, and an integral part of yours, I mean, either you are an SME or you get in, wherever you are into the MSME segment, so we are your partner wherever you require the logistics requirement. So that's me. You must have seen the brand every day whenever you are traveling or wherever you have been or getting packages through us. This is our reach. We have a wide reach, which is unparalleled reach into India. We have more than 700 districts served in India, over more than 19,000 pin codes that we deliver your package to. So if you're planning to ship to any part, either any zones, east, west, north, south, even to northeast, don't you ever worry. Please feel free. We are here to provide you ease of shipping, and that's what we commit. And that's our vision and motive is to provide you ease of shipping. So wherever you want to ship, please think about GATI, and we are there to deliver your package on time and safely. Our services, you all know what are we into. As I said, I'm into logistics. And when I say we are a part of your entire logistics supply chain cycle, which means I can cater to your each and every requirement, be it from your imports to export. I saw a lot of MSME export, entrepreneurs out here. So we can be a partner to any part of your logistics. And how do we do it? Because we have the capability to cater to all your requirements. So be it NOCC, be it freight forwarding on imports or export front, we can partner with you. You have express distribution, that's where GATI partners with you. You have air freight requirement for your important shipments, we can partner with you. You have container freight station requirements. So if any exporters want to have a ease of shipping, and the most importantly, competitive shipping solutions, do contact us. We can help you on that also. Yeah. Be it logistics parks, we own logistics parks. That's our main capability. We can partner with you and give you solutions on that. Contract logistics, warehouses, we have our own warehouses. It can be built to suit. It can be user-friendly, a shared facility at any part of India. We can provide you that kind of solution. So all I mean to say out here is, we all know your importance, and that's the reason we partner with such events in a very big way. And we know you are the future of India. And that's the reason from the start of the journey, we want to partner with you. So we don't have any eligibility criteria. You have one package or you have million of packages. You have one export shipment or you have million of domestic packages, we can partner with you. That's a bit about what we do. You must have seen this vehicle every day on the road. That's the brand logo you have. Express distribution is my core. When I say express distribution, I talk about commitments. When I talk about commitment, it has a life. We define the start of the journey to end of the journey. We take care of all the regulatory parts. We give you visibility so that you can focus on your core, that is on your manufacturing or on your business. Leave the logistics part to us because that's what our motive is, to provide you ease of shipping. Yeah? So that togetherly we grow, you grow, we grow. That's on the air side. For your important and critical shipments, we can provide you air services. We have a wide network. We have separate infrastructure for air network, wherein within 24 to 48 hours, your shipments can be delivered. Supply chain, as I said, this is one of the core reasons, which is the core segment where every entrepreneur like you would be requiring your logistics partner to help you with, to reach to the D2C model or to your customers extremely faster. We can provide you share to use warehouses, or if you have bigger requirements, do let us know. We can provide you warehousing facilities also. So what basically we do? So logistics is anybody's job, because that's a practical activity that happens, pick up kiya and delivery kiya. What makes us different? When I say ease of shipping, this is what makes us different, which is technology. We are a very tech-savvy company, and every year we invest a lot in our technology so that our customers get to know each and every pulse of their shipment, starting from the time when they prepare an invoice to the time it is delivered to the consignee, in what condition it is delivered, and at what time it is delivered. And that's where our core focus is, and this is all the differentiator, this is what differentiates us with the other people. You must have seen the ad also, which was run through, the Genie ad. So it's so simple that on a WhatsApp also you can know the whereabouts your shipment. We have a 24/7 customer service cell at your service. So be it you are at your office or you're traveling internationally or domestically, just punch in your docket number or available numbers, you will get to know your whereabouts. This can be done by you, your employees, or your consignees. So that's how we bring you ease of shipping. This is what I was talking about. The advanced way of knowing your shipment, the easiest way is WhatsApp. Just WhatsApp and use the Genie mode and you will get all about the shipments. These are few of the accolades and certifications which we have got because of the services that we have provided to our esteemed customers. And that's what we are committed to, and you will see whenever you partner with us. There are few names whom we partner with, and these are reliable names. And as I said, there's no eligibility from us. We want to partner with you from the start of journey, and through my career of almost 20 years, I have seen a lot of SMEs growing into medium segment or to a large segments, and I really feel proud, when I have partnered with them from the starting leg of their innings. So whenever you have any kind of logistics requirement, do let us know. I have my entire team sitting out there. Team, can you just wave your hands? Be it your domestic or international, just feel free to remember the name GATI KWE, and we are there at your service. Thank you very much.
Wow, what an effective presentation. Let's give him a huge, huge round of applause, way below the time, but so effectively presented. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with this, it is my honor, after Mr. Negi, to now call upon Shri Manish Singhal, Business Director, Henkel Adhesives Technologies India Private Limited, for the topic Innovation and Innovative Products of Henkel for SME Sector.
So thank you very much, and let me begin first of all with congratulating Mr. Chandrakant Salunke for the pioneering work he's done for the last few decades for the SME sector. Let's all put our hands together and clap very, very loudly for the SME chamber and the work done. Doesn't sound like 100 people clapping. Please louder. Let's shake away the sleep. Louder. Thank you very much, and a bigger clap for all the entrepreneurs who are here. The wonderful work. You are deciding the future for India. You are taking India to 5 trillion. Huge round of applause. Please, louder. All, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you. And Mr. Salunke, in his initial address, spoke about 3 most important topics for SMEs. He spoke about finance. A lot of my esteemed speakers spoke about finance and services for the SME segment. He spoke about technology. A lot of colleagues, a lot of presenters spoke about wonderful technical solutions. He spoke about exports. So SMEs of India today are not just catering to the need and demand in India. They are now emerging as big-time exporters, making a difference to the world. I want to draw your attention today, now, on the 4th most important aspect about deciding the future. What do you think I'm going to speak about? What do you think is most important for SMEs to consider as we move into the future, next few decades, as we move into 5 trillion? Do we all realize that currently we are consuming twice the resources that the planet can sustain? Do we realize that in 20 years, there'll be no food, water, resources left for our children, for the next generation? Is sustainability not an important topic? We talked about employing talent, bringing in youth into SMEs. Today, the youth is asking us that question. What have you done with my planet? What happened? And here at Henkel, we are not just into adhesives, but we are 55,000 globally sustainability ambassadors. So Henkel is a 20 billion giant in the field of industrial adhesives. 20 billion, 1,60,000 crores. And in India, a very, very strong presence. We just set up the 8th largest, one of the largest plants in Asia in Kurkumbh, inaugurated by the Honorable CM, and also Mr. Ambalingan, who was there today in the morning as one of the keynote speakers, was present at the inauguration of this plant, end-to-end a smart factory. And what we can proudly say as sustainability ambassadors from Henkel is that we are very, very close to being a carbon positive company. So we are not just sustainability ambassadors living in letter and spirit, the message of being carbon neutral, carbon zero, but we are also doing this for our customers. What are we doing for our customers? And basically, in India, it's our tradition. Sustainability is a tradition. हम क्या करते हैं? हम अपनी थाली में हमारे पेरेंट्स ने हमारे जनरेशन पुश्तों से क्या सिखाया है? कुछ छोड़ना नहीं है. खाने की प्लेट पे कुछ छोड़ते नहीं है. But do we realize that 40% of the food that we produce in India is wasted? 40%. 50% of milk that is produced in India is wasted. हमारी कल्चर, हमारा DNA है. हम कहते हैं कि एक शर्ट पुरानी हो गई तो उसको साफ करने का कपड़ा बना देते हैं. That's in our DNA. That's the India culture. That's something that is part of our tradition. That's what sustainability is. That's what we need to bring into everything we do as SMEs. And how Henkel, how we can help? So adhesives, I'm happy to share this video, are part of everything
Since
we
the
do.
first early human
Right from
fashioned the
the
first
aeroplane
crude tools and
to
put them
if
to
you
a
can
task,
move into
there has been a
the swimming
bond
pool
between man and
with your
machine.
mobile phone. So the
They help
adhesives are
us by
sealing it
performing
completely.
tasks
Or
faster,
the surgical
more
needle.
efficiently,
This
more
video explains
precisely,
what adhesives
and with more power
do for
than we
SMEs.
ever could. We help them by making sure they are designed and maintained to deliver on those tasks. What they are able to do for us is limited not by their capacities, but by ours, by what we are able to conceive and create. And so we build them, yes, and in many ways, they build us, our cities, our transportation, our communications, our connections, even our other machines. The Loctite Mantra is simple. We love machines, and we make products that convey that love.
So when we say that we at Loctite love machines and we have products that convey that love, what we mean is simple solutions like how is a bearing kept on a shaft or fitted on a shaft? There's a press fit, there's a shrink fit. Every shaft has a bearing, every machine has a ball bearing, right? So there's a press fit. How does a press fit happen? It involves presses, it involves heat shrink. What do? A drop of adhesive, a drop of Loctite, and you get the same push-out load. You get the same strength. So is that not saving on energy? Is that not adding on to the reliability or the life expectation? That's what we are doing at Loctite for the industry. Today, all global manufacturers are gaining from some of the technologies, anaerobic adhesives that we have given to the world. 60 years back, these adhesives and technologies were given to the world. In India, we've been present for 40 years. More than 1 lakh customers, OEMs, manufacturers use our products. The kind of solutions we provide are dedicated towards providing two solutions. One, saving on costs, improving on the equipment reliability, and then making your product energy efficient. We are just not catering to the OEMs, but wherever there is maintenance, it is there that you need proactive solutions. Typically, how does maintenance happen? In some of the SMEs in India, of course, there are the Tatas and Reliances here in India who are maintaining the highest predictive maintenance standards. But some of the SMEs still rely on the expertise of the Ustad. He listens to the machine and gets a feel that it's about to break down. Is that not a risk? So that's where some of the proactive solutions and the technology we have makes maintenance more reliable, more efficient. Somewhere the slide sorter is not working, so you have to do with my speech, and the video also stopped in between. But the Loctite technology is all about making your processes, manufacturing, also your maintenance processes more efficient, proactive, which means if you want the equipment to run for 2 seasons, then the equipment runs for 2 seasons.
Since the first early...
So I spoke about some of the technologies. I spoke about a drop of adhesive that takes away the need for shrink fit or keeps the bearing on the shaft, saves huge amount of money. Let me talk about some coatings that are making a world of difference. And these coatings are about life prolongation, efficiency enhancement. So somewhere, adding on to the sustainability, adding on to the carbon footprint, improvement of our customers. This is the solution we are providing. We are providing programs like complete energy audit or leakage audit, wherein customers can gain. We have the capability to identify false air leakages at a distance of 20 meters. And many technical people here would appreciate it's fundamentally impossible for somebody to hear those kind of leakages from a 20-meter distance. So those are the kind of technical expertise we have. Our experts visit plants and do these kind of surveys and then provide solutions that make your plants or your maintenance process completely failure-free or leakage-free or breakdown-free. So those are the kind of services, those are the kind of solutions we are providing. Many examples of fantastic innovations we have given to the world. Our R&D center in Pune is a home for 40 PhD scientists. The product that you see here is an innovation that is making waves globally. So it's on the coal burner nozzle. You are all aware, the power plant has a coal burner nozzle where the temperatures reach 1400 degrees Celsius plus. How is it possible for a cold compound to provide abrasion resistance at those kind of temperatures? So that is the kind of innovation, that is the kind of technology that our scientists have brought here in India, and the world is benefiting from this technology. So please, I would humbly invite you to visit this technical center. It's state-of-the-art R&D center in Hinjewadi, Pune. Please also visit our plant, the new largest adhesive producing facility at Kurkumbh. Thank you very much. I would not take much time. There are a lot of fantastic solutions, new products that we are consistently bringing in. But please approach us and we'll be delighted to provide you some highly energy efficient, reliable solutions that add on to your sustainability and make us responsible citizens for our children and the future. Thank you.
We just now like to invite Dr. Hema, Dean SA and Professor, National Institute of Industrial Engineering, who's going to be talking on the topic Industry 4.0 Disruption and Advantages for the SME Sector and Manufacturing Industries. Let's give Dr. Hema a huge round of applause. Dr. Hema Datte.
I'm thankful to Chandrakant Salunke ji and for this SME forum for giving me this opportunity and conducting this excellent event. I'll just mention about the NITI. NITI is globally known for supply chain operations management, and always we are actually using latest trends of the technology to manage businesses. And of course, we are the Institute of the Post-Graduation, PhD and research projects and all. We also conduct training programs, skill development, and then research projects for the industry. And we also undertake a lot of consultancy and international projects also. So this is just brief about NITI. I just wanted to mention about this framework. So basically here my attempt is to talk about why the integrated framework is required and how to just create a value chain to improvise the quality of the products and services for the export or for the internal consumptions also. And not only that, we have to also see that which technologies can be used. So NITI is actually being a government organization. We are happy to do all these things. But of course, we can do in individual capacity. You can always reach out to us for any of this support and all. But if we want to do it on a larger scale, if we want to create an ecosystem, we will definitely require the support from the government, central government and state government, and like say this forum, SME forum also will be contributing to it. So just I would like to mention that we have to create a digital infrastructure for blockchain technologies and then data science, smart warehouses, robotics and virtual quality clearance processes and all. But this is just I'm talking about the two pillars here, the technological infrastructure analysis and the business process analysis. So the technological infrastructure analysis has to understand that which technologies are relevant for the MSMEs, and because all this cost and all cannot be affordable, so we have to convert the cloud-based solutions which can be, SMEs can be subscribing to this. And before we do this thing, we'll have to carry out the high-level business analysis. So as a part of high-level business analysis, we'll have to really identify what are the export potentials, which countries it is having, and what are the product characteristics these companies are actually, the export countries are expecting, and what should be the SOP, compliances, criteria, or what are the services can be having a good market and all. So when we do this high-level analysis, we are going to understand that. And we are also just want to work on this, the cluster development. So considering the scope of different countries and all, and to provide the infrastructure, it is always better to produce the clusters for the export development and all. And while doing this thing, we are always continuously, we are monitoring and we are handling the problems like supply chain uncertainties or raw material processing or sales and distribution network, how the network planning, or the quality improvement, or say how to maximize the machine process available capacities of the plant. So we are working in these various domains, and we are also running on a lot of optimization models, including data science and all. So this is actually, in a nutshell, this will be looking like the framework. So all those applications which are actually producing and all, might be any industry or any service providers. For them, they have to give this product with the certification. But before they give the product with the certification, if it is they want to do the export, there are a lot of international systems. I have listed few of them. So they have to get the certifications from them. And actually, there's some certification, accreditation, standardization, testing labs and all. These all process they have to go through, and this is a very marathon exercise. And since all are in they are working in silos, that's why the integrated infrastructure is not available. So I'm proposing this infrastructure also, but till that, NITI is actually extending all the support for carrying out this on an individual basis. When we talk about the quality requirements and all, of course, you have to do the selection, then actually you have to have the criteria for the selection. You have to see that what will be the technical fulfillments can be done. And finally, you decide that these are the criteria or these are the qualities are required. And for this purpose, again, see this is the integration of all this. Like say when I'm talking about the only conformity assessment system, then I have to integrate all these players, like say certifying organizations, then test organizations, test certifications, then inspection bodies, or the manufacturers, the purchaser, the customer side, or the accreditation bodies, the calibration bodies. All these things, they should work together as a one ecosystem. Then only it will be beneficial for the MSMEs to carry out the export and all. And to carry out this, we are actually working on these different technologies. So this Industry 4.0, you are already aware of different technologies like cloud computing, Internet of Things, big data, artificial intelligence, then additive manufacturing, blockchain and all. So many of these technologies, they could be integrated, and this ecosystem is going to help the industry. So suppose if you are working on a blockchain, so how the blockchain can be used? Actually, the advantages of the blockchain will be, it will be giving the decentralization. It will also give the trust, partnerships, trust and all. Also, it is going to give you the lot of the communication channels it will be providing. It will give you the autonomy. Apart from that, it is also going to give you the advantages of the, like say, network operations or, other, which are high-tech, high-incentive businesses are there. They also can be, technical knowledge, know-how and all also is possible. And the smart contract management also is possible. So this is just one, I'm explaining this use case, which is used for the, manufacturing adoption, blockchain can be used. So here if we see, and lot of AI, ML applications are also used, and various models I have listed here, like say clustering, queuing theory, then visualization, clustering in visualization, genetic algorithms. Why all these are used? Because many times the industries are facing the problem. Suppose they want to do the cost optimization for their logistics operation, or in warehouse, how much of inventory they should have, or what are the uncertainties in the supply chain, how they will deal with, or what should be the demand planning. What way they can forecast, what are the pricing strategies. So these are all the questions on a day-to-day basis, and all the challenges are there. So all these things we are actually solving using this different types of AI-based technologies, artificial intelligence and data science technologies. Of course, NITI in an individual capacity is helping the industries also, all the MNCs also, and Indian industries, and of course we are helping the SMEs also. We are taking up the projects for that. But as I have already mentioned, that if we want to do it on a larger scale, we will be requiring the we'll have to create an integrated infrastructure. So just I want to explain this example. Suppose I just say it's a meat processing unit. So say some regulatory bodies, they will have to just go through, say raw material suppliers or the purchasers or the distributors and warehouses. Now at every level some data will be popped up, and they have to meet the data compliances also. So like say suppose if it is not a very high-tech industry and all, and they are all using the barcodes. So if they are not able to afford the cost of say RFID, or they are not able to use the QR codes and all. So using the barcodes also we can add the blockchain, we can use the IoT devices and all, and then we can integrate this to carry out the entire supply chain. So end-to-end supply chain. So what advantage it will give? The customers will have the more visibility. The manufacturers will be able to track everything, right from the raw material quality to their logistics problem, to the supply chain, what is the stock position, they can do the inventory analysis, what are the inventory position if they are going to commit to the customers. And while doing all these things, it will not give you only the visibility and all, but while doing all these things, we are also working on the optimization model. So how to reduce the cost, how to reduce the inventory, or how to reduce the time. So all these aspects are very, very important, which are indirectly adding to your profitability. And there are a lot of models we have already developed, say for last mile delivery or cold supply chain or the inventory optimization, or as I already told you that the capacity utilization, all these different models, if we want to simulate, we want to see that if this pricing in this country or for this segment, like say customer clustering, customer segmentation, for their profiling, and how you can customize the product, how you can customize the services, what will be the impact of it, and how you can forecast the trends. So all these things we can use using all the latest trends of technology. So here I have just shown you the one example, like say for this type of businesses also, you can use the blockchain technology along with the IoT and RFID tags and all. And this is just carrying out the right from the regulatory bodies to the end customer. Entire supply chain can be handled using the blockchain smart contracts. And in this smart contracts, you always get the transparency also, the speed also, you can just optimize on the speed, and you can take the real-time decision. Suppose if any problem is there, always you can be getting support from for the real-time decision making. So these are some of the advantages of the RFID and blockchain integration. Yeah, the last slide. Okay, so here I just would like to highlight, like, there is, I have shown here the physical system in this thing, and you can see that the digital is actually shown into the dotted things, and the curve is there, the wave is shown here. So basically what happens whenever the producer to store, if we want to see about it, I can use here the sensor, different sensors which are actually, they are transmitting the data using the blockchain. The smart tag can be used, and this smart tag will be actually managing your entire thing right from the raw material to the customer end, to your warehouses, to your smart warehouses, your finished good warehouses, your raw material warehouses. Everything can be managed. And here you can see that the entire supply chain along with the analytical views and analytical reporting on and real-time decision making can be helped. So it is, I just want to say that the blockchain, RFID, Industry 4.0, cloud computing, these are all the solutions. They can't be working independently. We have to create one ecosystem which will be taking care of all this, and it is going to give a greatest advantage. But till we get a government support and we really run this project and we create an ecosystem, if you have any problems, you can always approach NITI. NITI is known for its contribution across the globe for operations, supply chain, and all the industrial applications. So I'm really thankful to you. For any of the problem, you can approach us, and I can, my name is Dr. Hema Date. So initially you can start a conversation and then we will take it forward. So thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hema Date. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with this, it is time for me to now call upon Shri Rajiv Manalal Gupta, MD and founder, Worxpertise Group, on the topic Comprehensive Business Operations Management, the Digital Way. Shri Rajiv, if we could request you to please join us.
Good afternoon, good evening. Firstly, I must appreciate all of you for one very simple reason. Getting out from your workplace and coming in and spending a full day is one of the most difficult things for an SME. And you guys do a fantastic job, but हमारा backend हरदम हिला हुआ रहता है. कुछ ना कुछ चलता रहता है, दिमाग हमारा वहीं रहता है. हम आते हैं यहाँ, कुछ नई चीज़ लेके जाना चाहते हैं, नई चीज़ इम्प्लीमेंट करना चाहते हैं, बट बहुत ही मुश्किल होता है. I must appreciate Salonke ji, who's been able to get you here. यहाँ पे कुछ ऐसा खास होता है जो आप काम छोड़ के यहाँ आए हैं और आप सुनने आए हैं या देखने आए कि क्या नई चीज़ आप यहाँ लेके जा सकते हैं जिससे कि आप आगे और एफिशिएंटली अपना काम कर सकें. वर्क्सपर्टीज़ में हम पिछले 12 साल से लगे हुए हैं. वी वेरी फोकसली वर्क ऑन SMEs सॉल्यूशंस. आज तक हम कम से कम नहीं तो 5000 SME के बिजनेस ऑपरेशंस में जाके हमने देखा, समझा है क्या है. वी डेवलप्ड ऑपरेशंस मैनेजमेंट प्लेटफॉर्म. ऑपरेशंस SME का काफ़ी टिपिकल होता है. आपका कोई भी एंटरप्राइज प्रोडक्ट आप लेंगे आज इज़ नॉट डिज़ाइंड फॉर SME. इट इज़ नॉट वर्किंग फॉर SME. आप लोगों ने सब ने काफ़ी सारे सोल्यूशन इम्प्लीमेंट करे हैं, काफ़ी सारे सोल्यूशंस पे पैसे खर्च करे हैं, टाइम लगाया है. टाइम इज़ मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट. पैसा फिर भी आप कर, बट मेजॉरिटी ऑफ देम हैव फेल्ड. जीमेल एक चला सही, टैली एक चला सही, बाकी कुछ एक सोल्यूशन चल रहे हैं, बट ज़्यादातर सोल्यूशन फेल हो जाते हैं। प्रॉब्लम कहाँ है? प्रॉब्लम मल्टीपल जगह होती है। कस्टमर साइड, उनके डिमांड्स, उनके एक्सपेक्टेशन होते हैं, उनको हमको मीट करते रहेंगे हम, तो हमारा उनके साथ लाइफ टाइम जर्नी चलता रहेगा। बट दे कीप चेंजिंग, एंड उसको चेंज इम्प्लीमेंट करने में हमारे साथ सबसे ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम आती है। हमारी टीम्स जो हैं, एक एसएमई के साथ आप देखें, जो इस तरह की टीम एक्वायर करते हैं, जिस तरह की टीम वो बिल्ड करते हैं, नॉर्मली दे विल गेट पीपल फ्रॉम मिडिल टू द लोअर ग्रेड स्कूल्स और कॉलेजेस और टेक्निकल इंस्टीट्यूट्स। मैं काफ़ी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में जाता हूँ एट द टाइम ऑफ इंडक्शन ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स। मेरा एक सवाल हरदम होता है उनसे कि आप सब अपनी आंखें बंद कर लीजिए, ठीक, और फिर मैं पूछता हूँ कि आप लोगों में से कितने लोग हैं जो कि गूगल या फेसबुक या डिजिटल वर्ल्ड में काम करना चाहते हैं? तो हाथ खड़ा कर देते हैं वो। देन माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन टू देम इज कि ठीक है, आंखें बंद रखिए, आप में से कितने लोग एक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी के वर्क फ्लोर पे काम करना चाहते हैं? आई हैव नेवर गॉट मोर देन 3% to 2%, not 3 to 4, 3 to 2% people raising that hand. 98% of the youth today wants to work in digital or service economy. So it tells me कि आपके साथ क्या हो रहा होगा, या मैं भी एक एंटरप्रेन्योर हूँ, मेरे साथ भी यही होता है। इन दी सर्विस इंडस्ट्री वी गेट मीडियोकर पीपल, वी हैव टू वर्क विद देम 24/7 एंड ट्रेन देम, एंड जब वो ट्रेनिंग थोड़ी अच्छी हो जाते हैं, थोड़ा बढ़िया हो जाते हैं, तो नेक्स्ट कंपनी में चले जाते हैं, विच इज़ अ हायर लेवल कंपनी। सो इट्स नॉट डिफरेंट एनवायरमेंट वी वर्क इन। So when we were working on this product, कि SME, मेरा लास्ट कॉर्पोरेट असाइनमेंट वॉज द प्रेसिडेंट CEO फॉर हीरो का 2 कंपनीज में चलाता था, उसमें से एक कंपनी के ऑपरेशंस मैंने टेक ओवर करके ये कंपनी फॉर्म करी थी। सो उस कंपनी में वी वर ऑल द रिसोर्स वर देयर, हीरो ग्रुप का नाम था, सब कुछ था। व्हेन वी वेंट आउट एंड स्टार्टेड वर्किंग ऑन एन एंटरप्राइज प्रोडक्ट, देन आई रियलाइज कि SMB में एक टैली के अलावा कोई एप्लीकेशन नहीं है जो उनको मदद करता है उनके ऑपरेशन विजिबिलिटी देने के लिए, विच इज़ व्हेन वी डिसाइडेड। एंड पिछले 12 साल में हमने सिर्फ इसी प्रोडक्ट पे काम कराए। वो एंटरप्राइज का जो डिवीजन हमने हीरो से एक्वायर करा था, विच वर्क्स एज अ BPO एंड सपोर्ट्स लॉट ऑफ एंटरप्राइज कंपनीज, बट इसमें हमने बहुत इंटेलिजेंस करी है। सो ये जो एक प्रोडक्ट हमने बनाया है, इट मीट्स ऑल योर चैलेंजेस। दीज आर सम ऑफ द चैलेंजेस। योर टेक्नोलॉजी की जो पेस होती है, जो जिस तरह से चेंज होता है, यू ऑलवेज फियर कि वो चेंज हम अडेप्ट कर पाएंगे इनके। ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन जो होती है उसका मेरे बिजनेस पे क्या इम्पैक्ट होगा, वो आपको कॉन्स्टेंटली सोचना पड़ता है कि क्या करेंगे। अगर मैंने आज अगर गूगल डॉक्स ले लिया या मैं AWS पे चला गया, कल को AWS ने अपग्रेड कर दिया, तो मेरा क्या इम्पैक्ट आएगा, कैसे होगा। दोज आर द थिंग्स एन SMB इज कॉन्स्टेंटली लिविंग इन फियर। हाउ कैन वी हैंडल इट? सो वी अगेन देन मूव्ड ऑन टू अ सोल्यूशन विच वॉज क्लाउड बेस्ड सोल्यूशन। What would be the benefit you would get once you adapt a digital technology? Normally everybody wants to see कि भाई मेरे को immediately कुछ visibility आएगी, फिर मैं देखूंगा क्या फ़ायदा होगा। सुना मैंने बहुत है कि ERP क्या solution हो जाता है या workflow का क्या solution हो जाता है, but finally मेरे को actual benefit क्या होगा, that I will only get when I implement it. And each business environment is different. Let me tell you, each business environment is different. Each business requirements were different. Sorry. So today, when you are looking at a solution, when you want your operations visibility to be very, very clear, कि आपका sales order management ठीक हो रहा है या production ठीक हो रहा है, you need to find a partner who will not only provide you a solution of a software or a platform or a stable platform, who would also provide you a service which will help you enter the data, which is your biggest problem, reliability of a accurate data entry, creation of the right masters, creation of real-time data entry for you to be able to track what is happening on the real-time basis is the biggest problem most SMEs have. So we worked on that solution as well, where we created this platform which gives you complete solution. So your partner, as a partner, we not just give you a software and roll it out once for you. We also support you on an ongoing basis through the data entry services. That's an important part. Your requirements do not need to be customized. The platform is so intelligent, it gets configured to every industry. There are 18 type of industries which we have tested around, and it can get configured in the process industry, it can product industry, across manufacturing and trading. Your transformation into your process itself is a cloud based. Suppose आपको कुछ चाहिए और उसको हम इस तरह से देखते हैं कि क्या ये सबको अप्लाई कर सकता है या मेजॉरिटी को अप्लाई कर सकता है. We make that change and give it to everybody. Now whether you want to use it or you do not. So it's a cloud sourcing development which keeps happening, keeps coming you. So it's an intelligence which will keep upgrading collectively and not singularly. तो आपको ये नहीं सोचना कि मैंने अगर कुछ मिस कर दिया. You will always have your peers who will contribute to development of that platform. Can you continue to run the business with your existing team? Absolutely. Because you have the experts who will be taking care of the entire platform. They will run it for you. Your team will be the executor as they are today. आज भी आप उनको instruct करते हो, उनको documents बना के देते हो, उनको एक direction देते हो कि ये ऐसे कर सकते हैं. Similarly, this platform will help you do that more accurately, more effortlessly. So if you really want to understand how it can work, you can reach out to Priyanka, give her your details. We can set up an exclusive meeting for you and take you through that how SaltWorks really will deliver good solution for you. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a huge, huge round of applause. Shri, Rajiv, Manalal, Gupta, thank you so much. Well, with this, it's time for our final speaker in this session. We, of course, called him at the start, but unfortunately, due to the video error, presentation error, it couldn't be done. But I'd like to re-invite Shri Avinash Valal, the CEO of SME Technology Development Council, on the topic Digitization and Digitalization, Disruption and Advantages for SMEs. Let's give him a huge round of applause.
Diptik, how many of you are running any digital transformation project? 2, 3? Pretty poor, actually, seeing. So, before I get into digital transformation, understanding of digital transformation goes back. It's been running for quite some time, but the most important is it has taken pretty precedence now in the wake of the pandemic. So, to get into digital transformation, I'll just put in a background about the pandemic portion, so what is the new normal today as of now? The pandemic has led today to, first when it appeared, we had to really quickly recover from it. That we had to look at our operations and try to see how do we restore our working operations. So that was the first stage where we went into. Next stage was how did we restart? I mean, most of the thing, remote working was unheard of. And with this, the biggest change which has happened is remote working has come to become a mainstay. Whether it's a manufacturing industry, whether it's a service industry. Of course, the amount of remote working differs based on what is your production unit and what is the remote working. But yes, it is here to stay, and that has really changed the norms today. We have learned to work and remotely connect and confer, which was never thought of before, and it was a different way of operating, and it has come to stay. It's not going to go off. What has happened because of this, we had to really re-architect our landscape. A lot of IT tools had to be re-architected. We had to get in Zooms, we had to get in unified communications to communicate across, and they have become a norm. Before pandemic, those were still good to have, but post-pandemic, they are the essential tools of business, which you are definitely using or deploying in the process. Today, we are into a stage where we have to re-innovate our processes, and that's where SME structure and most of the leaders of digital transformation companies already achieved, is you're looking at your processes and try people and technology and trying to see how we can reuse this portion in the new norm, how I can utilize the new processes, new technology or the new way of working, which definitely is impacting. Today you have a global reach, which was earlier not possible. Today a lot of companies are having remote hiring, which was never thought of. today somebody sitting in somewhere remote location in the country is getting hired and is also delivering. So those kind of environments are there. Of course, it's in limited fashion. Service industry, it's more so. Manufacturing maybe kind of a limited, but still a lot of designing work which could have outsourced, a lot of actually consulting work required for the SME manufacturing can still be outsourced in this fashion. And right now we are into the basic phase of reimagining the business. So we have virtualized a lot of activities. Today we are virtualizing business. So business earlier was a part of a physical, now it's going to be hybrid mode. So what is happening today is today for SMEs, you have a big leveler that you can now compete with large enterprises at equal footing, provided you have the right set of tools and processes and people in place. So we had two sides of the coin. We have passed to the worst side, but definitely now we need to really look at the new part of the coin and try to gear up and start moving, because this window of opportunity is going to be very limited for you also, because within a year and a half's time, this also will close and a lot of opportunities will be lost if you don't really move fast. So that's the background of COVID and post-COVID. So in terms of SMEs, where are we today? So what are your focus requirement on? Today there's a big digital literacy gap. So when you ask what is digitalization, people confuse with automation. So if I want to give you just three things, anybody asks you what is digitalization, it's basically three things. One is looking at your customer-facing applications and sales enablement. Maybe looking at e-marketing, e-invoicing part of it. Second is your workforce optimization. That means using digital tools, how are you going to optimize your workforce, optimize your processes, optimize the internal workings of the company. And third is digital transformation of your entire business model. Today you may be a product, but tomorrow you can be a product services company. So it's a shared economy which is coming up. Instead of giving a product, you'll be looking at leasing those products or giving it as a service. So that's the environment and economy today. And today you really need to relook what you're doing, what kind of expertise which you have, specialized skill set, which the market needs, maybe here or global or international level. So you need to look at it and see where you can deliver. And that's the opportunity we have, because today it's a global village. Secondly, security is the most important part. We are seeing so many cases now. It's a state-sponsored terrorism which is going on, and security is pretty critical. So when you're having your operations, you need a lot of support on what is going to be, how to secure an environment, which is pretty important, and you have a lot of digital assets now. Even if you want or you don't want, your digital assets will be floating around in the net. Third part which is missing is how do you leverage IT infrastructure and tools. Today you can have a shared economy where you can so many tools, but you are struggling to really leverage those infrastructure and tooling part. Absence of innovation because you're looking at it in a siloed process. You're looking in a small component and part. You need to really look at across platform, because what is digitalization? It's basically end to end, wherein people are trained, your tools are in place, and your complete process is revamped. It is not that I've just automated my help desk, I've automated my form scanning. It's not digitalization. You're not really deriving any benefit out of it. Lack of data culture. Today we're still, not only SMEs, even large organizations are responsible. They're not looking at the data, what they have, and not making decision on those. So here you have to really move fast. Today it's becoming so complex. Even IT, as my earlier colleague friend was saying, it's digital. That means it's no more separate. And it's like give me an anecdote of like a medical profession. Earlier it was a general practitioner, but now you have each one as a specialist. So IT is something become like that. Like Madam was saying, we have so many channels and options where IoT, RPA, even for us, we find it difficult. So I can understand the plight of the rest of the people. So it's important that you need to look at what is the data you have and how are you going to make a decision on that. So what tools you'll put in. You have basically archaic marketing and CRM structures. This is the first low-hanging mangoes. We should look at the first step. Even Mr. Gadkari is saying e-marketing is a focus where you can really, world is your playground. So really need to look at what are your marketing and e-marketing components which you have. These are like quick wins for you, we can really deploy. And missing components in e-marketing and e-commerce, if you don't have e-commerce site, anybody who's worth his salt, even Kiranas are putting up the sites, for SMEs, definitely you need to have your e-commerce sites on an e-marketing solution in place. So those are basically focus areas, and what is the advantage you'll have by going through that? Maybe you'll have a better time to reduction. I won't go into all these details because of lack of time. I don't want to stand because we have to really move on this side. So there are a lot of improvements in terms of your optimizing of your process, flexibility, reach of your customer, process optimization, data insights. That's the part of your digital exercise which you have. What are the barriers along today which you are facing? Barriers you are facing is culture change. We still are very resistant to work at a new way of operations. And this is the first thing you need to address. You may not address the tools, you may not address the process, you may not address. Please address the culture in your organization so that you are ready to change. That's the first step of your digitalization. Rest of the stuff will follow. But if you're not ready to change, you're still in a frog in a well trying to say my processes are excellent, I'm excellent, it's a death knell for you. Because it's very, very essential for you to move on and try to make a change first. The resistance to change can be addressed. Basically, you need to have a consulting where how the business process and the technology comes in, how we can work it together. There are a lot of people around here who can help you. And of course, Technology Council agenda is now to help you guys and work with you, try to get you in touch with the partners, the right tools, consulting process, and try to even create awareness. That's the first stage which you need to have. Collaboration, which is of open systems, you're still collaborating. Putting a Zoom call is not enough. You need to have whatever knowledge. Today you're having remote support, you're having remote sales. Is your knowledge available for a person who's working remote? Is your skill set communities are in place? It's not. So that is a very critical part. It's just not when I'm having a Zoom call is enough. If we are, every worker or every knowledge worker is enabled with a knowledge pool which you can refer to from anywhere is very critical. And that today you have it in people's mind. If you need to get into that knowledge pool, imagine the kind of competitiveness you'll have. Because if the person goes today, you still have the knowledge pool. Today you don't have that. The person goes, the knowledge goes. So you really need to look at that portion. And digital skills, of course, nobody is going to be left around isolated. Everybody needs to have the digital skill. In our personal world, we do a lot of e-banking, e-ticketing, etc. But why in the business we are so shy? We really need to look at, get it, process. So if I look at a basic checklist for SMEs, from my perspective, maybe this is not the GAN, but from my side, I look at it. Basically, you need to have a digital cloud-based workplace. That means you have a workplace which can access from anywhere. There are so many cloud services provider. Amazon has been here, and they have pretty robust, secure, you don't have to worry about those and available services, but you need to put in your workplaces there so you can connect from anywhere. You need to have basic ERP, you don't have to have a SAP, but any basic kind of enterprise resource system in place and basic automation tools in place so that your day-to-day operations are going to the next step of digital maturity. Multi-channel CRM for sales enablement. Today, if you have this in place, excellent. If you don't have, please put it on the priority focus. Cyber security tools, I don't have to really mention again and again, but those are most critical as of now. E-commerce site, at least some kind of digital presence online is required, and digital marketing tools which are essential. So these are like at least a basic checklist, and good to have is AI and analytics tools which can be a next stage of your journey. So here we, as a Technology Development Council, we would like to help you come to us. We'll try to put you to partners. We can help you, handhold you. We can help you train up your resources, etc., to develop this. So we can be the facilitator for you and try to do this. So that's the vision. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a huge, huge round of applause. Shri, Avinash, Velalji, thank you so much for your valuable time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with this we come to the wrap of the session 3, but we've got one very exciting, activity right now, which is wherein we're going to be requesting author Ajit Shah to kindly join us. And of course, I'd like the honor of inviting Shri Chandrakant Salunkeji, the founder and president, SME Chamber of India and Federation of Indian SME Associations, as well as Maharashtra Industrial and Economic Development Association. Well, with this, let's give them a huge round of applause as we welcome them. And author Ajit Shah, if you can just be in the center, and if you can say a few words before you present your book.
In Reader Digest, there was a one sentence that if you are alone on an island, would you still like to have the BMW car? Answer is no. Any happiness you have it gets multiplied when you share with it. As a consultant in exports and imports, I do write several books at a different time. I have just written, my last publication was for Regional Office of Chennai for India Institute of Chartered Accountant. This is my 18th book which I have published, and I thought Mr. Chandrakant Salunke is the right person to whom I should give it for the SME library and for the benefit of you. This book is available online. I have got the detail available on my table. You can just have a copy of that. In link, you can take it. That book talks about what an exporter and importer has got a connectivity with the FEMA is concerned. And I'm extremely delighted to give this particular book in the presence of all of you to Sri Chandrakantji Salunke. Thank you, sir.
So ladies and gentlemen, let the claps keep coming in as we have Ajit Shah ji giving away the book to Shri Chandrakant Salunke ji. And this is where we are now unveiling his current book. Yes, sir. Let's give them a huge, huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. With this, we'd like to humbly thank Mr. Ajit Shah. Thank you so much for joining us. And Mr. Salunke ji, if I could request you to join us on the dais.
Ajit Bhai said, if you're an island and if you have a BMW car, I'll say if I'm an island, I will have a Mr. Ajit Shah because he has a tremendous knowledge about export-import. आपने कितने 5,000 सेमिनार किए अब तक? More than 5,000 seminars, workshops, training programs he has been done only for SME entrepreneurs and especially on the import-export business. So let's give another one more big hand because he is the encyclopedia, particularly knowledge about export, import. He and his son must be given at least say 30,000 entrepreneurs education, hand-holding, guidance and training that how to export, how to take care of while exporting, how to take care of while importing, and formalities and compliances part all the international trade. So thank you very much for your services. Yes, we have started SME news, and through that we have done one seminar talk also that we will share with you, the master class, which is very important and useful. The link will be sent to you all. So friends, we have done one very interesting platform that is called Sanghatan. The Sanghatan platform banner kutte lavlela hai. So we will keep it here. Those are, while going home, you can take the QR code so that you can connect with us on our platform where you will get more information about, particularly for any type of knowledge, education, business lead, or any type of, suppose you are looking for notifications, alerts, you will get that. And mostly you will be connecting with more than at least 1 lakh SMEs in all India level. So thank you very much. First of all, thanks to all the speakers, especially Hema ji, because in the last 24 hours, I think before I given notice to her that you have to speak because the NITI and we are planning to give a more hand-holding to SME sector, particularly for innovation and invention. And we are planning to give value addition services to the main workforce of SME sector. So this is very interesting, and Avinash already mentioned about our initiative and what level support we can provide our SME sector, particularly through this development council. And I hope that he will take advantage. So now we are going to close today, but this is not the end of the conference. This is, we can say, the continuity of our activity. So, and I hope to see you again next time. But before that, I request you, those are sharing their views, knowledge, or suggestions, recommendation, grievances, issues, please send an email. You have received invitation through email, so you can send on that email ID about your issues and problems. So that, we can present to the government departments, present to the banking sector, present to the companies, those are interested to provide services to SME sector. With this word, I'm thankful to all the sponsors, speakers, and all of you for giving a whole day for today. And I'm sure that you will be enjoyed the conference and looking forward to more support and participation in future. Thank you. All the best.